about how I made this book. It's taking a while to make this book. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Barbara. Welcome. Hello, Ethan. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be talking about the abacus like we always do, but it took me a little bit because I finally got this out the door, and this is my little abacus maze. And so I was trying to make a cover for it, and I think I'm actually pretty happy with my new cover. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. We're going to read the abacus, and I need to go. Okay, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. These are beads. This is an abacus. This abacus is a counting tool. With this counting tool, that's the new book. This is part of the new book. So right now I have the first part, which is the 2 digit. I got to do the I got to do the triple digit, and then I was going to do the 4 digit. So I'm quite excited for it. But it's only right now. It's only talking about the beads. It's only talking about how the beads work, and how to do the math or how to do the maze, and that's all this is. And so I have it where I have the little big brain notes. So then explaining how the beads work. And so yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't get to print out the whole thing, but I will. I will print out the rest of the thing to show. But yeah, hey, good morning, Lady E. Welcome back. It's been a while. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4, we have 5. These are the beads. When these beads are touching this horizontal bar, this is also called a reckoning bar. I was like, what? That's a reckoning bar? I'm still learning new terminologies. But yeah, somebody said that this was a reckoning bar. And I'm like, okay. So I call it a horizontal bar, or you can call it a beam, or you can call it a line because this is video. So, good morning, lady. And so everything, these are the bottom beats. These bottom beats all have a value of 1. So what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. Because we're going to learn how to read the abacus, we know that this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? That's easy. Simple to use, easy to understand, right? Simple to use. So this is 4. They're all touching the horizontal bar. So what is 5? 5 will always be the top bead. The top bead will always be 5 no matter what. So if I did this, these are all touching the horizontal bar. These are now all being counted. But we don't want that. What we want is just the one bead, the one top bead to touch the horizontal bar. This top bead that's touching the horizontal bar is now considered 5. Now, how do I know? Because that's what it is. 5, and then now we can count 6. Well, we remember that the bottom bead has a value of 1. So we have 5 and then 6, and then we have 7, 8, and then 9. That's it. I'm done. See you later. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So what's going to happen is like after 9, just like how we write, and I was also updating my little doohickeys. So just as we write, we have 9, right? This is 9. How do I know? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9. So then after 9 is 10. I need to find my little eraser. Just how we write 10. How do we write 10? If I can find my little eraser, it'd be better. Here it is. So at 10, if we do 10, what does 10 look like? Exactly what the abacus says. 1 and a 0. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Be more you. Okay. Hey, babe, freelay. Okay, so now what's going to happen is we're going to count 11. So if you notice, this is 11. How do I know this is 11? Well, just as we read the beads, notice there's 1 and 1. So 1 and 1, hello, hello, welcome, welcome, hello, Susanna. So we have 1 and 1, I'm sorry, and then this is 1, 1, this is 11, this is 12, this is 13, 14, and then this is 15. Notice that all the beads that are touching this horizontal bar, this reckoning bar, is counted. So none of these columns are being counted. None of these digits are being counted. How do I know they're digits? Well, just like how we write. When we write, I didn't even know abacus was a real thing until 8th grade. Yeah, pickle juice. That's funny. But it's interesting. You can actually see it in the movies. It's all in the movies. If you've ever seen it, I think Tinkerbell has it. Fairy Mary uses it. Was it the Penguins of Madagascar? Kowalski, he uses an abacus. If you ever watched the movie called Wonka, have you ever watched the movie called Wonka? Wonka, there's a character named Abacus Crunch. And I'm like, what? What is this crazy thing? So, Pickle Juice, because you're the only one that's commenting, I get to talk to you. Oh my God, Oreo. Yeah, Oreo. Welcome. So what we're going to do is we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. This helped me so much. Oreo, do you know how to use the do you know how to use the abacus? That's fantastic. The first place I saw it from was Tinkerbell. Surprise, they don't teach it about her. Yeah, right? Who would have thought? But that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching everybody. And I want to teach everybody so you can teach your kids and then we can break it into the mainstream school. So what we're going to do is we're going to count. And apparently I didn't know what this was called, but some person called it reckoning bar. And I'm like, what? That's called a reckoning bar? Okay. So I was in the beginning calling it a horizontal bar. Ha ha! Can you show us the number 1947? Yeah, 1947. Thank you, Darren. So we're going to do their ones, tens, hundred thousands. So 1940, I'm sorry, 1947. So 19, right? 1947, right? Doesn't matter which column you start on, Benjamin. It does matter. It matters which indicator you choose. So if you notice, I have a dot indicator right here. There's a dot indicator, and I chose this one, just like a Pokemon, right? Pokemon, you have to choose a Pokemon to help you battle. So this one is, I'm going to help this dot to battle, to answer my questions. So I choose this dot to be my ones. Make sense? Yeah? Cool. Thank you, Darren, for the comment. Yeah, I was born in the 1900s too. I'm right with your grandma. Okay, so that's what we do. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn to continue to read the abacus. To do that, we're going to look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. Let's go, Pokemon, right? That's what it is. So I'm choosing this one. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then after 9, we have 10. And then somebody's like, well, how do you know what 10 is? 10 looks exactly the same as this. It's just a different place value. Just like if I did 1 or 10, kind of the same, right? It's a 1 and a 1. 1 and 1. What you gonna do? So when we do 1, that's 10. This is 100. This is 1,000. This is 10,000. Could you hypothetically start on the third dot? You could if I had a bigger abacus. And size matters. This one's a 13 column. The reason why it's a 13 column one is because this one has more digits. So essentially, if I had 3 dots, if I did my ones here, my tens, I'm sorry, my thousands, my millions, my billions, and my trillions, you could start from the middle. And I like to start from the middle. So, could you show us how to use solve a math problem? Of course! Of course! But first, if we could, Johnny, understand how do we read the abacus? Do we all understand how to read the abacus? So this, now some people gets a little tripped up that the colors, it's like it has nothing to do with the colors. I'm telling you right now, it has nothing to do with the colors. What it matters is the positioning of the beads. So when we position the beads, the top bead is always a value of 5. The bottom bead is always a value, always a value of 1. So when we count, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. This is 5, right? And then we have 6. We have 6, and then that's 6. Notice they're exactly the same, right? Make sense? So we have 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have 10. So it doesn't matter what color the beads are, it matters the position of the bead. Does that make sense? All right, so Johnny wants to calculate. Let's do some adding and subtracting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this thing called simple abacus. Yes. So what's going to happen is we are going to do some really simple addition and subtraction for right now, and then we can go into multiplication and division. But the first thing we need to do is we need to understand how to add and subtract, how to move the beads. We need to learn how to move the beads. So we've already know how to read the beads. Now we're going to learn how to move the beads. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this one question that says 6 plus 2. Now, in abacus, we focus on the add-in. That's what this is. We focus on the add-in. We focus on the number that we're trying to either add and subtract. We do not focus on the result. It's like life. Abacus is like life. We want to be able to, we want to focus on the journey and not the destination, right? We want to focus on the add-in. We want to focus on the process. What do they say? Marry the process, divorce the result. So this is all about like abacus life. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 6. When we do 6, and then I want to add the 2. Again, the reason why it's simple, right? The reason why it's simple and it's easy because I have enough beads, I'm just going to move the 2 beads. This is a simple addition. The reason why I want to start this is because I want to show how to move the beads. Some people get a little tripped up. That's fine. People get a little tripped up. And so if you notice, if you go to the bar, if you go to the horizontal bar, if you go to the reckoning bar, we're adding. That's what this means. So then if we add, we know how to subtract. To subtract, we just take it away. Easy, right? Simple to use, easy to understand. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is 2 plus 2, but we don't memorize our doubles. We don't memorize our doubles because doubles are dumb. Doubles are not good. Doubles are not helpful. Why? Because doubles only happens in addition. There's no such thing as doubles minus. What does that mean? What's a double minus? Just means 0, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to add this. So we have 2, we have 2, and then we add another 2. Is there enough beads to add 2? Yes, there is. So I have 4. Okay, that's enough. That's fine. Okay, so then if you notice the way the book is laid out, we focus on the add-in. So this one is 3. What I want to do is I want to add the 5, right? I'm going to add 5, and then I want to add the 3. I'm going to move 3 beads to make 8. So notice again, my add-in is 3, not focusing on the 8. Does that make sense? Okay, so that is simple. We already did subtraction, right? If we move it to the horizontal bar, now we want to take it away from the horizontal bar. So if I have 8 and I want to take away 8, I want to take away 3, I just move it away. Does that make sense? Are we all right? We're going to keep going. Anybody have any other questions? If not, I'm going to keep going. Cool? Okay, good. We're tracking like a horizontal bar. I got jokes. Okay, so we have the minus the 4. Okay, so let's do minus the 4. Now, if you notice, we have 5, and then we add the 4 plus 9. Oh, notice that if it ever goes like this, I wouldn't count it. I would say that's not counted. So you have to make sure that the beads touch the horizontal bar. That's the one thing. So that's a little blooper. And then that's the other thing is make sure that you hold your abacus, because if you don't and it comes an earthquake, because I'm in California and there's an earthquake, then your numbers get all messed up. And then what happens is you have to start over when you do your question. So make sure you hold the abacus to make sure it gets locked down, because you don't want to have the beads move by accident, because it's very easy to move. All right. So we have our 5 and we have our 9. Easy. That's what we call simple. So then again, if we do adding, if we add, we need to subtract. So that's what this is. Am I a math teacher? I am an abacus teacher, and I've been teaching abacus for 20 plus years. I didn't learn abacus when I was a kid. I actually learned abacus when I was old, before my first kid. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah. You know what? I take that back. I am a math teacher. I'm a math teacher that uses an abacus. That's what it is. I'm a math teacher that uses an abacus. I am no longer the forgotten stepchild. What's going to happen is I'm going to try to popularize abacus, and if I can get everybody to understand abacus, then it'd be great. So, is it possible to go into negatives with an abacus? No, it's not, because how do you do a negative with a real product? Right? So you have to kind of think of it. This is a real product. This is a physical thing. How do you become negative on it? Right? So no, you can't do negative, but you can take away stuff, if that makes sense. You can do subtraction, but you cannot do negatives. You would really have to finagle, and then it wouldn't be the same. You would have to keep the negative in your head. Let me take that back. You'd have to keep the negative in your head. But it's up to you. So this one is minus the 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to plus 2. We're going to add 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take away the 1. We're going to take away 1. That's all we're going to do. Take away the 1. Right? So if there's any other questions, I'm going to continue on. So that's the minus, and then we're doing minus 2. And then I have minus 3 and minus 4. And then we have plus 5. So plus 5 is just adding the top bead. That's all we're doing. So what are we doing? We have 5, and then we have 1. and we're adding the 1. So my answer is 6. Make sense? Easy? Right? Cool. Hello, Esther. Welcome back. Okay, so that is about, so then what's the other question? What's the other question? The other question is what happens when there's not enough beads? So could you start in the middle? I'm sorry. Could you start in the middle dot so the 0 subtracts 5 and move to the right? I'm sorry. So could you start on the middle dot as 0, then subtract 5 and move to the right? No, because it'd be decimals. It's an interesting idea. You could, no, you can't. How do I know? Because it would be this, right? This is my decimals. So if I had my ones, right? Ones, tens, hundred, thousands, 10,000. My decimal is here. My decimal would be my tenths and my hundredths. What do you need to represent a higher number than you make on the abacus? What if you need to then you need to get a larger abacus because then size matters. Wait, the ones are in the third column? Yeah, because I have remember I have the Pokemon. I have the Pokemon. This is my dot indicator. And this dot indicator tells me that I choose this one to be my home. I choose this one to be where my ones is, right? If you really want to track the national debt, you could use a 23 column abacus. This is a 23 column abacus, and it's pretty long. It's like bigger than this. It's like really big. That's the national debt. Yeah, you forgot. Sorry, you forgot again. Thank you for reminding me. Sorry, you forgot. I forgot or you forgot? No, it's okay. Yeah. So even here, right? Like if you notice, we have these dot indicators. We have this one, this one, this one, this one, that one, right? So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what dot indicator we have. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. Hey, keeper! Yeah, it is late. I realized it was late because I was trying to, so this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to get this out the door. So I'm selling this and I got it. I finally got like all the pieces and stuff. And so I have my little maze going. So that's the maze. I have like 26 mazes. And so I have answer sheets to all of them. And then I'm going to do the 3-digit one and then I'm going to combine it and make a book. Yeah. So, what about the taller abacus? Does every bead have to where can we get that one? This one I'm selling it on my website right now. It's a printable product. It's a digital product. I can't even pronounce it. So what we're doing here is we're only focusing on the bead recognition. So this one's about a path. And so the idea was you start here and you tell me what number this is. So if this is my ones, this is my tens, what number is this? And then I wanted them to color it in. I want you to color it in. So this is for like, it's a PDF. Yeah, it's a PDF. Okay, Oreo says, what about a taller abacus? I'm sorry. Does it explain the decimals as well? This digital product? No, right now it's only doing 2 digits. So I'm only doing 0 to 99. The question was, what about a taller abacus? Does every bead have to be? Yes, every bead. So this is the longer abacus. Every bead is represented with a digit. Yes, everything gets represented. So yes, that is exactly what it is. The bigger the number, that's why you attract the national debt on this bigger abacus, which is 23 columns. Each column is a place value. I need a smaller one since it's too long to bring to the 20 column one. Yeah, that's funny. Awesome. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to I do have, does it explain? I am going to start doing decimals, but I haven't, but it will be after the third digit, after 3 digits, there's going to be 4 digits, and then there's going to be 5 digits with a decimal. So that's what I was going to do, but that hasn't been created yet. So much for sharing your knowledge. I need to go. Oh yeah, Oreo, go to sleep. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. Go, go, go. I know I'm late, so I was like, oh, I need to go on live before I get too late. But I'll try to be here earlier tomorrow. Go to bed, go to bed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm in California. It's only 10 o'clock for me. So that's why I was like, okay, okay, okay. So yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow and thank you for the hearts. All right. So Johnny, I don't know if Johnny's still around. What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about adding. So adding. What we're going to do is we're going to add. Now the question is, the first thing we're going to do is, we're going to have to learn how to make a 5. Okay, we'll do this one. Yeah, cool. So we have this thing, right? We're going to have to do, okay, what happens? What happens when there's not enough beads? The problem is we're going to have to start understanding how to do it. Have you ever thought being an abacus teacher in Japan? No, because I don't know Japanese. I only know English. Okay, so why are we doing this? The question would be, uh, let's do 3. We want to add 3 and we're going to add the 4. The question is 3 plus 4. This is the question we're going to do, right? Where am I from right now? Like, I'm in California. I'm in Los Angeles right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 and then we're going to add the 4, right? Does that make sense? We're going to add the 4. But notice I don't have enough beats to add the 4. What we're going to do is we need to figure out how to utilize our numbers. To utilize our numbers, we're going to make sure that our numbers work for us. We're no longer going to be having freeloading numbers. Does that make sense? We're not going to have any freeloading numbers. What does that mean? We're going to make our numbers work for us. We're going to make it so we can, we can utilize it. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how to make a 5. We're going to understand how to make a 5. That means that if I do 4 plus 1 equals to 5. This is how we make a 5. So if I look at this, then I'm going to be like, okay, 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Thank you for the hearts. Woo! I'm almost at 1K. Wow. Okay, so what's going to happen is, what we need to do is we need to isolate this variable. Do you remember how to isolate the variable? Do you remember this in algebra? There's an algebra definition, right? If you do this and then minus the 5. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate this variable. So that means that we need to move this 1 to this side. We're going to move this 1 to the other side of the equation. That's what that means. So we're going to try to make the 4 by itself. Does that make sense? So because we're going to make the 4 to that other side, we need to, what we need to do is we need to isolate the 4. To make the 4 by itself, notice when I write the equation, this is not balanced. If it's not balanced, what are we going to do? We are going to minus the 1. Does that make sense? So now we have this formula. We can substitute it. We're going to substitute the 4. We're going to substitute this 4, and it's going to say plus the 5 minus the 1. So if I look, I'm going to have 4. I have 3, and I'm going to add 5. But 5 is too much. I add the 1. I take away the 1. So now my answer is 7. Does that make sense? I should erase this. So that's my answer, 7. So what did we just do? What we just did was understand how to use the abacus. Notice I don't have any more beads. So we have to make use of all the things that we have, right? We're utilizing it. This will work all over the place, right? So let's say we have another question, 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4. Well, what does it look like on the abacus, right? What does it look like on the abacus? That's what it looks like on the abacus. 2. I want to add a 4. Can I add a 4? No, I can't add a 4. But I know how to add a 4. What do? I plus the 5 and I take away the 1. So my answer is 6. Put the blue, yes, exactly. The blue bead is a value of 5. The yellow bead is a value of 1. The bottom beads has a value of 1. So what, actually, it's not the blue, yeah, the blue bead, the green bead is up. Yes, right? Makes sense? So what's going to happen is we actually take away 1 bead. We take away the yellow bead, like here. Make sense? So that's how we do a plus 5. That's what this means, plus 5. We can do it again. Let's do 4 plus 4. If we do 4 plus 4, we don't memorize our doubles. This is a double. This is a double question. We don't memorize our doubles. There's no point. It's redundant. It's useless. It's useless because there's no what do you call it? There's no versatility. So there's no versatility. What's going to happen? I need to plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. So I'm going to plus the 5. I'm going to take away the 1. So my answer is 8. Yes, exactly. Blue down, the top blue down, and the 1 blue down. Yes, exactly. Hello, your name I cannot say. And I'm not sure why you always want to come to my live. You should have your own live. This is not a dating app. I'm not here to date anybody because I'm too old to date. All right. I am going to have to ban you if you're going to keep learning. If you're going to keep bombarding me with questions that doesn't relate to abacus, I'm going to have to ban you. Oh wait, I meant to move the right. No, yeah, you get it. You get it, oh, Johnny. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So this is the 4 questions. These are other questions, right? I don't use I don't do the 1. If I do 1, I do 4. It's a little bit difficult, right? Because it's too close to the formula. It's too close to this, so it gets confusing. That's why I don't use the 1. So, but we can, right? If I have 1 and I want to add the 4, I don't have enough beads to add the 4. What do? I plus the 5 and I take away the 1, right? Does that make sense? So what's going to happen is, this is my answer, 5, which is really kind of like the formula. Now, because we did the 4, what else? What else can we do? We can also do a plus 1. So there's a whole group. There's a whole group of formulas for this. This one specifically is adding a 5. Because we can add a 5, we can take away a 5. Does that make sense? So the next thing we're going to do is, we know how to add a 4. What are we going to do? We're going to have to take away the 4. Why are we going to have to take away the 4? Because we have questions at minus the 4. To do that, what are we going to do? We're going to do the same thing. Really? We're going to do the same thing? No. We're going to change the operation. So remember, in our operation, we do plus 4, 1 is equal to plus 5, right? When we want to minus, we want to subtract. When we want to subtract, we want to minus 4 minus 1 equals minus 5. So what happens is we're going to isolate this variable and move it to the other side. So when we look at it, 4 minus 4 equals to minus 5. And then what do? We want to say plus 1. I've always something. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Johnny. Not a problem. Not a problem. You're the only one commenting, really. Ethan already knows. Yeah. And I mean, it's all about people commenting, right? And so that's the thing, is making sure that you understand. And it's good that you let me know. It's good that you let me know that you're not understanding, because if you don't understand, then there's no way to me continuing on, and you get completely lost. So here's my minus 4. And what do I want to do? I'm going to take away 7. 7 minus 4. Here's my question. 7 minus 4. So I have 7 on the abacus, right? We have 7 on the abacus. What do? We cannot take away 4. We don't have enough beads to take away 4. But we're going to utilize our 5. We're going to minus the 5, and we're going to add the 1. And then my answer is 3. Does that make sense? It's not to make it complicated, right? What happens is, if you understand the basics, you can now scale it. You can scale it to bigger numbers. The biggest thing is to understand. Hello, Vince. The biggest thing is to understand how to read it when it's small, manageable chunks. So with the manageable chunks, it's easier to visualize. So like when we're counting, I don't know, Vince, if you know how to read the abacus, but we're going to read the abacus. So when we read it, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. All the beads have a value of 5. Yeah, go to bed, Johnny. It's 1:30 a.m. That's crazy. See you later. I hope to see you in my next live. Yeah, thanks for joining me. And thank you so much for the comments. Does the colors matter? No, the colors don't matter, because this one here, thank you so much for joining. So the colors over here, the only thing that's different is the place value. Not now. The only thing that's different is the length. So this one is 7 columns. This one is, hi, Charlotte. This one is 13 columns. So because this is 13 columns, we have more digits. That's all that matters. The positioning of we just have to pay attention to the positioning of the upper bead and the lower bead, right? So these are the upper beads. Anything above the horizontal bar is the upper bead. Anything lower than lower is the bottom bead. So, but they're exactly the same. Do you see that? So what's going to happen is when we count, we're going to utilize this dot indicator. This is an indicator. This is a label. So if you notice, they both have labels. So this label, I don't know if you can see it. There's a label here. That's the label, this little dot thing, right? That's the label. So what's going to happen is I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the bottom beads has a value of 1. All the top bead has a value of 5. So because this is 5, now we can count higher. We can count 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So then after 9, we have 10. This is 10. Just as how we write. You're welcome, Charlotte. You're welcome. I'm hoping this makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. So, I only know how to read the abacus. Is this the abacus you know how to read? Dot? Or is there another abacus you know how to read? Because there's another abacus that's the two bead on top. So this one has a two bead on top. There's two beads on top and then 5 beads on the bottom. Yeah, like the decimal. So then anything on the other side is the decimal. So this one here, we have the ones, there's a decimal here, and then there's the tens. So I think it's called a soroban. Yes. So then you have this one here. This one's a Chinese one, and this is a suopan. I can't even pronounce it. But this is a Chinese abacus, and this one's a 2 beads on top and 5 beads on the bottom. It works exactly the same. That's how I can read it. Oh, yeah. So then what's going to happen is when we talk about 10, right? This is 10, 1, 0. And then 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? So after 90, we do 100. And then if you look at each of the columns, right? 10, ones, tens, hundred thousands, 10,000s. Okay, good. So then that means, so do you know, Dot, do you know how to add on the abacus? Do you know how to do like the formulas and stuff? Because that's the biggest thing. The biggest abacus, what's the biggest abacus you have? I have a 23 column abacus. I have a 23 column abacus. And this is the oldest one that I've had with me too. Does it help to solve equations, or what's the purpose of the abacus? The purpose of the abacus is it helps you track the numbers when you do adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So you can actually do, so it helps you track the addition. Yeah, that's what it does. It helps you track. When do you use it? It's whenever you need to do adding and subtracting. So a lot of the people, majority of the time, this would ideally be introduced when the kids are young, right? They're learning how to count, they're learning how to do adding, subtraction, multiplication, division. It would be ideally to do that, but however, some people are starting to learn it now, like you guys are now, and then, if they have children, they will want to teach it to their children, kind of a thing. And so I have 3 boys, and they've all gone through the abacus. They've all gone through the abacus curriculum. Do they know how to use it, and they know when they know how to. If you give them an abacus, they know how to use it. Is it confident? Yeah, they're really confident with their math. But see, the thing is because you know your addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division really well, then you have room to do more complex math. So abacus is the gateway to complex math. It's not everything, it's the foundation of it. So I saw the 13 abacus. Yeah, yeah. The 13 abacus one would be good for multiplication and division because when you do multiplication division, there's just more columns, and so it's just easier to handle when you have more columns. If you the reason why I use the colorful one is for the younger kids, and so when they graduate, right? If the when the numbers get bigger, then you can graduate to the 13 column one for the newbies. Yeah, I would recommend doing a 13 column for the newbies. Yeah, because it's more versatile and you don't necessarily need the colors, right? And there's no point for you to graduate. I would just go straight into a 13 column one. I think 23 column is a little bit of an overkill. But at the time when I started abacus, there was only a 23 column abacus. So, yeah, let me join then. Give me a question and let me answer them. What? No. No. Get. Oh, my brother is new to abacus. Oh yeah, yeah. The 27. Oh, he's got 27. That's really big. Does it matter? I don't think it matters. But yeah, that's a really long abacus, and I'm sure his is made out of bamboo. That would be kind of cool. That's really cool. Yeah, this one is. I think you should. I think you should have your own live, and then you can teach your abacus. That's fine too. Um, yeah. I mean, you're trying very hard to come live here. Anyways, so dot, yeah. So the 23 one, the 27 one is very long, and then I'm not sure if he uses it all, but I thought it was, yeah, it's made actually it's made out of bamboo. And it's really quite interesting, and it sounds different, right? This is made out of plastic, and this one's the newer ones. The plastic ones are just as good. There's not a problem. It's just as finicky, and it's just as easy to change, easy to mess up if you don't hold your abacus, right? So, so what we're going to do is we're going to be adding. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add. When we add, we're going to do the first thing is 2 plus 2. That would be easy, right? The reason why it's easy is because I don't think he can have his own live. He doesn't have enough followers. That's too bad. You know what? Then keep posting. Yeah, he did. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have a lot of followers. And it's very questionable. Um, find somebody else. I'm sorry, kid. I don't know if you're a kid or whoever. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to do some adding and subtracting. Now, if you notice, when we do this, what we need to do is, what we need to do is focus on the add-in. So we have 6 plus 2. So we have 6, and then we need to add the 2. Notice we have enough beads to add the 2. So our answer becomes 8. How do I know it's 8? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, it doesn't help that his name is not something like I can pronounce, right? Just me, myself, and my low level abacus skills. Yeah, but you can't use that username. You got to change the username. And the other one is not as good either. I think the other one was like hijinks or whatever. Yeah, no, no, you got to change your name. You cannot be. Give me a real name. You know what? Give me a real name. Maybe we'll talk about it. And then the other thing is you gotta have a conversation. You can't always be asking. You can't be entitled to be coming on to my life. Now you're just messing up my life. Ah. Okay, sorry. So no, no, you can't be using that username. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 plus 2. So we have 2 plus 2, and this is 4. So notice that I just added the beads. So because I added the beads, they are all here. What's going to happen is I have enough beads to add. So when we talk about it, we want to just be able to understand how to move the beads. Does that make sense? It's helping. Okay, good. Thank you, Charlotte. So what's going to happen is the questions are simple, but to understand that what we need to do is we need to focus on the add-in. When we focus on the add-in, then we will figure out our answer. We don't focus on the answer. We don't say, "Oh, how do we make an 8?" What we're going to do is we're going to understand how to move the beads. So here is 2, so the next one is 3. And notice that I've broken it up 2 plus the 3. So when I add the 3, I have 5, right? This is 5. And then I want to add 3. When I add 3, I have 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that make sense? So just as we have here, we have our columns. Our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. It doesn't even matter. You could do 50 plus 30, right? And it'll give me 80. Does that make sense? So when we keep going, we have plus 4. Again, when we add, right, everything that we're adding means that we're going to the horizontal bar. And then when we're doing minus, we take away from the horizontal bar. If you do 10, do the other beads to the right reset? Yes, you're exactly right. So if I do 9 and then I want to do 10, to do 10, I need to have 1 here, and then this becomes 0. So what's going to happen is I have 10, and then I can count by tens. 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then we do 100. Again, it gets reset. But it's just like the same thing when we write. When we write, we have 9, right? And then what's after 9? Well, we have to do 10. So after 10, after 9 is 10. This gets reset, just as how we write is how we read on the abacus. So we have 10. We have 1 and 0. All right. Okay, so that's the first thing to do. Then what we're going to do is, now we know how to add, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract. Notice it's still minus the 1. We're going to subtract the 1. If I have my question is 2, I have 2 on my abacus, right? And I'm going to take away 1. All I got to do is move this 1 bead away from the horizontal bar. And that's it. The dog in your profile is super cute. Okay, so then if we have 3, and then we take away the 1. We minus 1, the 1. And that's it. So my answer is 2. Whew. Hello, Harika, Pravi. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. All right, so what we're going to do is after 1, we have to take away 2. And again, it's the same thing. We have 3, and then we minus 2. What are we going to do? We're going to take away 2. 1, 2. We take away the 2. And our answer is 1. Thank you. I can't say that name. All right, so then the next one is 3. When we have 3, I can do, 4. And now I need to do is I need to minus the 3. So when I minus the 3, it's these 3 beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take away these 3 beads. On the lower half, do we look at the bottom section for the answer? On the lower half? No, you look at the whole thing as an answer, right? It just happens to be what I'm doing. So if I do 9 and I take away 2, then I have 5, 6, 7. So then my answer is 7. So you have to look at the whole thing you have to look at the whole column. Does that make sense? So it's not just the bottom beads. It just happens to be the questions that I'm looking at. It just happens to be the bottom beads. Yeah, yeah. So it's every column is for itself. So we have 9, right? Take away 1. So our answer is 8. Hey, Kim, welcome back. Count the beads on the bar. Right. So that was the thing. Make sure that any of the beads touching the bar, it gets counted. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, Kim, guess what I got? I finally got part of it. I got part of it out the door, and it's available. It's on my website. And so this one is my maze. I got 26 mazes. 26 mazes. And so the idea was to start from here. What are the beads on the right of the dot representing? You made a new booklet. I did make a new booklet. It's 40 pages, I believe. What do you have? Can we buy? Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes, you can buy this abacus on my website. And it's the link in the bio. And then this one, there's the abacus store, and in the abacus store, I have these worksheets that I'm trying to them making. So yeah, thank you. I see that. I see that you have an emoji. I don't know how to pronounce your name. So but yeah, so the idea here was, if this is, to read this, right? This is 10. So what you're going to do is you're going to color in this column. And then you go to this column here. What's this number here? What is this number here? So this is actually a page from my book. So what number do you think this is? Oh, and you know what? We can do it. We can do it like this. We do 1 and then 3. So that looks like, yeah, 13. Because then we count it 1 here and then 1, 2, 3. So 13. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kim. And then color it in. So then we have this one. If I mimic it, right, that looks like that. And then the idea was to color it in. What number is that? 11. Yes, thank you. Right, thank you. 22? No, not 22. You know how we count it is we count the beads. So every bottom bead has a value of 1. 1, so diabla, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, it would be considered 4. If we're looking at 22, as Kim mentioned, it'd be 2 and 2. So when we look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we do this, this is 1 and 1. This would be 2. So then that would be 2 and 2. I read wrong. Thanks for that. Yeah, not a problem. No, no. So then what's going to happen is if I want to count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. The top bead always has a value of 5. Because the top bead always has a value of 5, then we can count 6, 7, 8, 9. So then when we look, we have our place values. That's where we have this little thing where each column is a place value. I want to buy your from. Oh yay! Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Let me know. I don't do Cash App. Or there's some sort of Cash App some of these people are trying to do, and it gets expired. So I think if you just used your credit card, it'd be fine. But yeah, let me know, and then I can send it out tomorrow. And so this is 9. So just as we do, right? Just as we write it, this is 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we do 10. This is 10. How do we know that this is 10? This is 10 because it's 1 and a 0, just as we write 10. That's a scam. Don't trust them. I don't see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't see what you're saying. So I don't see the comment. Okay, so if you notice, oh, okay. Yeah, it says that it expires and stuff. And so, oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, good thing. I'm using Stripe, so they stop it. Um, Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so I think I think the website does Visa or MasterCard, credit cards. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Stripe is good. I like Stripe. That's what I'm using right now. And so we want to do 10. This is 10. Now, Diabla, if you're still here, I don't know if Diabla's still here. So we're going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50, and then 60, 70, 80, and then 90. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Okay, good. You're still here. So does that make sense? 90? Hi, Charlotte. You're so cute. I just purchased. Oh my gosh. Okay, Jake. Hi, Melinda. Jake, I'm telling you, you need to change your name. If that's really who you are, you need to change your name because I'm not gonna. Nope, nope, can't be having him. Oh, Melinda. So I got it. I got part of it. So this is the cover, and it's only 2-digit mazes. It's only 2-digit mazes, and then I got 26 of them, and then we were just doing a little bit. I'm determined to show you I'm willing to learn. That's fantastic. But you sound like you're very entitled. Oh my god. You actually bought yeah. You can't be so entitled, Jake. Yeah, thank you, Melinda. I mean that's why I was on late cuz I was trying to get it out the door. So I think it's about 20 40. It's going to be 40, it's like 40 some odd pages cuz I also added in answer sheets. And then the other thing is once I get the whole thing, I was going to consolidate it all and then make it into a book. But I wanted to get it out the door so then I can just get that going. And then the next one is going to be 3-digit, and then after that there's going to be 4-digit, and then after that I was going to do 5-digit with a decimal. So, guys, go buy for some no shipping fee. Thanks, Jake. Yeah. Okay. So, come on, Jake, be nice. This is to this. He's been trying to get on my live since yesterday, and I don't believe him because he sounds sketch. He sounds very sus. Yeah, thank you, Melinda. Thank you. You have to start earning like comments and stuff. All right. So yeah. So this one. So and there's like, yeah, so there's directions like how to make it and stuff, and then after that, so it's starting to go through, but I do appreciate everybody. I think he's trustworthy, especially if you bought one. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe later. You know what? Give me a week. If you're here every day for a week, maybe I'll soften up. You know what? You know what though? You better be happy I didn't ban you. He seems like something. Yeah, right? He's still around, so I haven't banned him. I'll make a new account with my real name by then. I don't know. See, if you're making to all these new accounts, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nope. Stay on alert. Sir. Yeah, right? So, okay. Oh, what we're doing some adding. So, Diablo, that did that make sense? So what we can do is we can continue on. This is the maze. So the maze is what I created, and it's a right now it's a digital product, and then later on the next iteration it's gonna go. I'm gonna publish it, and so then you can actually buy the book. But for right now, it's only a digital product. Red flag. I have an abacus I bought from them too. He's been answering the problems and bought the. Yeah, it's a red flag. Yeah, makes it okay. No, you know what? I'm going to continue on, and he's just got to prove himself. That's all. He hasn't been he hasn't been too disruptive. So, Diabla, I never understood abacus before now. Makes sense how. Oh, hey, blue cord. Really? Okay. So you got to the point where I was counting on the abacus, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is considered 4, right? Because it's touching the horizontal bar, this is 4. Now, when we do 5, this is the top bead. The top bead is always a value of 5 no matter what. So if I did this, all of these would be counted. These are all the 5s. However, I want it to be 0. So because I'm having 0, this is 5, and then 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then after 9, we have 10, just as we have our place values. So this is our place value. We have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000s. This is my dot indicator. If you notice, there's a little dot right here. This dot means that I'm choosing this to be my ones place. You could choose this to be your ones, but I decided this so I have more numbers, right? So then afterwards, if you notice, after the ones, there's the tenths. So right between the decimal does not have a place value. Between the ones and the tenths is my decimal. So then I have my tenths and then I have my elevenths, right? So then, just as we counted, we can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And again, 100, exactly how we write, we have 1, 0, 0. So this is what 100 looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some bead recognition. I see how the speed count works with the mental abacus techniques now. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I don't promote the whole mental arithmetic, but you can. And that's what a lot of a lot of the videos that are out there, and you see the kids doing this. It's because they're working with the abacus, and the abacus itself is very efficient because it's so efficient that they can actually imagine it, but it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of practice to try to be able to envision this abacus in your mind. Diabla. So then my question here, if this is part of my maze, what number do you think this is? If I change my abacus to look like this, do we see what number that is? Hello, Brendan. So what number do we think this number is? Oh, I don't know if you're still around. So we count it. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, thank you, Blue Cord. So my answer is 8. So I'll just go there. And this is my maze, and I have this available. So I just made it too. I'm kind of happy. I like the cover. I was gonna keep the cover. Yep. And so here's my next number. So if I have my next number, it's this one and then this one. What number is that? Blue cord. Is the shop in your bio? Yeah, well, my website's in my bio. And then in there, there's the abacus store. So 16, 16. Yeah, so this is 16 because this is 1, and then 5, and then 6, and then here. So yeah, I've been trying to be a little bit more diligent on putting more products into my store. I haven't figured out how to do TikTok shop with digital products. I don't think I can yet. I think, hey, Linda laughs. Yes, that's right. That's exactly what it is. It's 16. Well done. Well done. And so I'm trying to figure out how to do, I don't think I could do digital products on TikTok shop. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to create my book. Once I create my book, then I'll be able to sell it on the TikTok shop. But it's still halfway done because I want to do 2 digits, and then after do 2 digits, I'm going to do 3 digits, and after 3 digits, it'll be 4 digits, and then after 4 digits, it'll be decimals. Yeah, thank you for the follow, Charlotte. So Linda laughs. Linda, just so you know how to read the abacus, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the value of 4 touching this horizontal bar because because the beads are touching the horizontal bar. I have 5. The top bead will always have a value of 5 no matter what. So you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then after 9, we have 10. Just as we have our place values, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000s. Does that make sense, Linda? So when we follow the maze, right, we have this number. Oh, what's that number? Great. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Right now, we're just working through a maze. 6. Thank you, Blue Cord. So I'm going to do 5 and then 6. So I'm going to color it here, 6. And so then it comes to here. So this number, if I mimic it, it's to see what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. 20. We didn't do that yet. We're not doing adding on this one, Kim. So we have 22, and then not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so then here we go to 9. So I made it into a maze so then it's a little bit more engaging than just a bunch of numbers. There's like one page that does it. So here, if I look, if I did this, that one, and then this one, again, what number is that? Thank you for the follow, half Josh. Okay, right. So we have 65, exactly 65. And then we have this one here. So we have 2, that's 20, right? We have 20. And then what's the next one? 5, 6, 7, 8. And so this would be 28. Oh, I have to put 8 here. There you go. Right? Cool. That's 28. So what's my next number? Let me see. What's my next number? It looks like it's these two, right? So this one, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 63. Yes. So that's 63. And then finally, what number is that? That's an easy one, right? Bye, Charlotte. Have a good night. Thank you for teaching me. I'll be back for the next one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Charlotte. I don't know about Jake. Thank you, Blue. Oh, hey, half. Oh, okay. 1. Yes, it's 1. Not, yeah. Ah, Jake. You're still here. Okay, number 1. So we have 1. And then we're in our final answer. What's our final answer? It looks like this. That's what it looks like. I'm loyal. Okay. If you can stay with me for a week, maybe I'll think about it. Thank you, Blue. That's it. And that's it. That's the finish. And that's my maze. So this is the one activity. This one is the letter H. So now you know. But yeah, that was one of those things. And that's what I did. And that's what it is. Hey, Diablo, you're still here. Diablo Caro. Ta-da! Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and so I do like the maze, and then that's this one. So I think it's gonna work out well. So we'll see. And then but I was so excited because you guys I like that a lot. Really? That's fantastic. I didn't make it cutesy, but that's fantastic. I really appreciate that. I do really appreciate it. I didn't even think that it was a thing. But but that's the thing. Like, oh, anyways. So okay, here, you know what it is? The reason why I started going down this path of making like more worksheets is because when you see more abacus out there, this is an old abacus workbook. And this is what they do. This is all you see. Even if you look at the videos, this is what it looks like. And I'm like, whoo, that's a lot of questions and a little mind numbing. It's like 60 questions because it's 15, 45, I'm sorry, 15, 30, 45, 60. That's a lot of questions. And so I was like, you know what? How do I make it better? How do I make it easier to like digest? So this one, there is 26. I did mazes A through Z. So there's 26 mazes for just number recognition and just following it through. And so the idea is when you understand how to read the abacus, then we can go into doing some adding and subtraction. So I think what I'm going to do, I want to get a few of these for you. How much are they from your shop? I think I just set it up for $8. There's 48 pages or something like that. So there's also answer sheets. So I also added answer sheets, and I also tell you how to read the abacus. And so, you know what? Let me print out the rest of it. I'll show you what it looks like. Let me print out what I got, and then you can see what you like, and then you can see it. Let me hold, please. Um, yeah. So I can do. Well, okay. So let's do page 4. Um, let's see. Page 4. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Okay. 4 to 10. We'll do that. 4 to 10. Okay, so if you want to wait a little bit, I could show you what the rest of the book looks like. Um, okay. Am I a math teacher? Yes, I'm a math teacher. I'm a math teacher that teaches with an abacus. That's the biggest thing. I'm a math teacher that teaches with an abacus. I don't teach anything else. I only teach adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Booklets ship fast, so technically shipping is included. Well, book it's a digital product. So it's actually a downloadable. How quick can you do an order of 6 abacus and some of the workbooks? Well, are you looking for like how old are the kids? Blue cord? Because there's this one that you can get on my I can get on you can get on the other one, the other selling website. That's what I have, if this is what you're looking for. Okay. Okay, so I'm still printing it out. But it did get messed up a little bit. Um yeah, thanks. Well, this was not my this is the old logo. My new logo is actually with an abacus. So, because I was told that this was for autistic, and so I was like, okay. I did it because I like puzzles. But anyways, so blue cord. I'm not sure like how old are the kids? The abacus will, if you're gonna order 6, the abacus will be I can ship it out tomorrow, and you should get it within the week for homeschooling. Yeah, but how old are the kids? So I mean, you can get the digital product, or you can buy the booklet. The digital product, you can get it either from my website. My daughter is struggling with math. I was considering trying an abacus. Oh yeah, that'd be great. You could try with this one first. So I'm still I'm still praying it out. But this one is she's 7. So this one is starting off with double digits. But there's no adding yet. Sorry. I have to make sure I have water at hand. Okay. Um Magnolia. So this one currently I'm selling on my website and it's only talking about 2 digits. I do have it in the beginning where there's a little lesson. So the idea is to understand that every abacus, right, what it looks like. So this is what 0 looks like, and then this is blue cord above the homeschool. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So um I haven't printed this as a book out. I just made it. And so inside the book, there's I call it big brain notes. And the idea was to show what the picture of the abacus looks like. And then this would be actually in grayscale, but because I have it, it's in color. But I think it's going to be in grayscale unless you buy the digital product. It will be in color if you print it out in color. And then this is the picture. The idea for this is to show the difference between the real abacus and the picture of the abacus. And so here is how to read the picture. The idea was this is the horizontal bar. So we have the horizontal bar, right? This is the horizontal bar. And then you need to know that if I want to add 2, right, that's what 2 looks like. I'm not adding 2. This is what 2 looks like on the abacus. So this is what 2 looks like. And then I have like explanation of what each abacus is. So this is 2, right? And then this is 1. The idea is that you would color it in, right? You would color in each of the abacus, each of the beads. So when you color in each of the beads, it kind of gives them an idea what it is. So this is 4. These are all single digits, and if they're quick and they understand it, then they can go into double digit. And the double digit is again this one right here. That's all it is. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then the next page would be, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if that makes sense. And then from there, again, this is what the picture looks like. So I have my 8, I color it in, and then again, I'd color in all the counted beads, only color the counted beads so they can understand, right? And then after that, here's what it all looks like as 1. And then we go into double digit, and then after that they go straight into talking about the difference between the double digits. So here I have 10. So this is what 10 looks like. That's what I have here. This is what the picture looks like. And then this is how I explain it. There, the left bead, the left column is the tens, and the ones and this is the ones. And again, so this is 11, so this is 11, and then this is 12. So then my next page is when we start talking about how to read the abacus. So remember we had 2 and we have 8. And again, I want it to be colored. So here is the idea where I wanted to have them write the number. So you put 3 and 6, and then here you would color in 3 and 6. So this is just the beginning parts. But then after this is the beginning part, then they can go into working on the maze. And there's always a label that says start here, and there's always a label that says finished. So, um, we can talk more about like how to add and stuff, but that's like that's later on in a different book, if that makes sense. So what's going to happen is after they understand how to read the beads, then they would start going into how to add and subtract. So in school we're teaching the kids we focus the kids on the answer, but we don't do that in abacus. In abacus, we focus on the add-in. So the way these questions are broken up is I want to add the 1. So when I add the 1, I have 5, and then I'm going to add the 1. All I got to do is move the 1 bead. So right now is I'm just adding the 1. What we want to do is we want to show what the 1 bead looks like. So if I have 6 and I want to add the 1 bead, this is the 1 bead I'm going to use. So then my answer is 7. 5, 6, 7. After we do simple adding and subtracting, this is what we call simple, meaning that there's enough beads. So again, this is 2. We're adding 2. If I have 5, so I have 5, I want to add the 2. I know I'm going to add these 2 beads, right? If I have 7, I want to add these 2 beads. If I want to take away, I know I have to take away, which is minus, moving it away from the horizontal bar. Does that make sense? So this is the process of like understanding how to move the beads. So we do adding of 4. Adding of the 4 is so simple. The reason why, because there's only so many questions to add the 4. So we have 5, and then plus 4. Plus 4 is this. So when we understand how to do the simple, we know how to add, we will know how to subtract. So after that, we will subtract. And again, it's the same thing. We have to know how to move the beads. So we have 2, and then we take away the 1. So then afterwards, after they go through the, just going through from 0 to 9, right? These are all this, the one column. Then we go into a part where what happens when there's not enough beads. So what happens is there's enough beads here. So if I do 9 and then I take away 3, notice I just take away 3. 1, 2, 3, and I move it down, right? So then the next one, the next book after that would be making of a 5. So in school, we're teaching the kids how to make a 5. What does that mean? Well, in school, we're teaching kids how to make a 5. This is what it means. We're adding 5 plus 4. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And then 2 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now, is that all we're going to do? No. In abacus, we take it one step further. So in abacus, what we do is so I'm talking to you as an adult, right, to isolate the formula. I wouldn't tell your child to isolate the formula, but to understand as an adult what we're trying to do is what we're going to do is we're going to add a 4. What's the question? Well, the question is, let's do 3 plus 4. Well, if I show you on the abacus, I'm going to add the 3. I need to add the 4, right? When I add the 4, there's not enough beads. See how that is? There's not enough beads. I would tell that to your child. Well, what do I do? There's not enough beads. Well, what's going to happen? Hey, RS, welcome back. So what's going to happen is I have my formula. I'm going to plus the 4. So the formula is this number sentence. This is, what do we call it? Addition fact family. Incredible curriculum design with the books. I like the way you're setting that up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been trying to curate all of my worksheets. And so that was the one thing, is trying to make sure that the kids that are younger than 5 also have the opportunity to understand how to read the abacus. And so that's why I was trying to make it engaging. No, oh, Magnolia. So I'm going back to here. If you notice, this is like algebra. So abacus is the gateway to complex math. What does that mean? Well, what's going to happen is we have to take away this 1 to move it to the other side so we can isolate the 4. What we want to do is we want to isolate the 4. Why? Because we're trying to add the 4. Does that make sense? So to isolate the 4, we do this. 4 plus 4 equals to 5. Well, that doesn't make sense. So what's going to happen is I need to minus the 1. Does that make sense? So now what's going to happen is we're going to substitute this information into the 4. What? Why? Because we need to add a 4. Notice I'm going to add the 5. That's too much. So I need to take away the 1. So my final answer is 7. So what we just did is we made a 5. We utilized the 5. We made our 5 work for us. We supercharged our 5. We leveled up our 5. There's so many things. I don't even know how to say it. The reason why is because now we get to a point where we're starting to introduce algebraic-like formulas. And that's one of the Common Core skills, is to show algebraic formulas, and this is how it gets introduced. So in abacus, we introduce it naturally as part of the concept. So thank you so much, Blue Cord. Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to make my worksheets interactive, and I'm trying to make my worksheets entertaining, as well as get across that we're trying to learn abacus as well. So what we happen, oh yeah, so we have this. So notice, okay, what we're going to do, let's do another question. You'll see how versatile this is. We never memorize our doubles. In abacus, we don't memorize our doubles. We don't say 4 plus 4 is to 8. No, we don't say that. What we do is we say 4. Do we have enough beats to add the 4? No, we don't have enough beats to add the 4. What do? Guess what? We already know how to add the 4. All we have to do is plus the 5 and then take away the 1. And then my answer is 8. Does that make sense? So now what's going to happen is we're building and we're practicing how to build and make our foundation stronger. As we make our foundation stronger, it will just get stronger. Right? So here is 8. Okay, I know how to add a 4. Are we ready to subtract a 4? Are we ready for that? Or do we want to add another 4? Hey, Coffee with Kendall. I like Coffee with Comedians in the Car with Jerry Seinfeld. That's a good TV show. Sorry. So, do you want to do another one? Okay, so let's do another one. We did 3 plus 4. We did 4 plus 4, and then the next one we could do is 2. 2 plus 4. Okay, well, what's that? Well, what are we going to do? Again, we don't need to know strategies like doubles, like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4, 2 plus 2 plus 2. What we do is we look at our numbers. We do 2, we add another 4. We want to add a 4. What do? We know this builds a strong understanding of how the numbers interact versus calculate. Yes, I'm sold. Thank you. That's fantastic. But it's just one of those things. I really do believe that abacus is the greatest thing next to sliced bread, and it's the greatest thing next to Betty White, because it really builds on the foundation. I don't have to give them too many formulas. I only give you one set of formula, and then we build and build and build and practice and see how it all fits in the different scenarios. Does that make sense? So as we look at all the different scenarios, we're like, oh, I've seen it before. Oh, I know how to do it. And knowing the basics here, we can scale it to the bigger numbers. So let's finish this one. We have 2. There's not enough beats to add the 2, right? But look, what can I do? It's the same thing. I can plus the 5 and take away the 1. You will see that there's a number pattern. Notice I'm doing this. Plus the 5 minus the 1. That's a number pattern. Hey, Babel. Do you see the number pattern? I plus the 5 minus the 1. Plus the 5 minus the 1. I'm using 2 fingers to dramatically show you. Does that make sense? But see, like, really, I would just use my 2 fingers like this. Okay. Got it? Does that make sense? So, okay, good. I mean, but see, the thing is we started with the 1. We started with the 4. Guess what? We have a whole set that we can do. So there's a 1, a 3, and a 2. There's a whole set. But notice they're the pair, right? So again, it's just a different scenario, right? We know these pairs. So we can do this one. There's only one, just so you know, there's a caveat. There's only one question for this one, right? And it's only plus the 5. So that means, I have so much. So adding here. So let's do 1. If we do 1, we can do 1, right? We'll do 1 because we have a pair. But see, it's the relationship. You'll see that there's a relationship. Again, notice it's a 4 and a 1. What's going to happen? 4 plus 1, right, is equal to 5. I need to isolate the 1. Why? Because the question is 4 plus 1. That's the only question I got. So here, I move the plus 4 over. So I do 1 is equal to plus 5 minus 4. this is my isolated variable. So what happens is when I have my 4, I need to plus the 5. Because I need to plus the 1, I need to minus the 4. So I'm going to plus the 5 and take away the 4. My answer is 5. So I think I would need to get myself fluent first before I teach her. You can do it together. Because I think it would take time. Honestly, you could do it together. You would catch on faster than her, of course. And then I would just depend on how slowly, how quickly you do it. But if the reason why is because she's still young. She's still 7. So if you could do it now, I would learn with her if that's possible. My kids, when I started, I already knew it when my kids were young. So I started before I had my kid. Just so you know, I started when I was 30, early 30s, and I have a learning center out in Monterey Park, and I've had the learning center for about 20 years or something. My dad was the one that started the learning center, and he told my brother and I that we had to teach, and he didn't learn it. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. That's how Asian parents are. And so my brother and I teach. Hey, Kaylee. My brother and I teach abacus, but I decided to go online, and he is at the brick and mortar. So he is actually at the learning center. So we do have a learning center out in Monterey Park. But if you're okay with it, I wouldn't wait, Magnolia, if that's okay. I would work with work with her together. You'll get it faster than her, for sure. Because with my lives, people have been getting how to do multiplication within a few sessions. It's not difficult. It's just the concepts. And so what it is just curating all the questions and stuff, if that makes sense. So yeah. So we did so that's the pair. Does that make sense? So we have to understand the pair, and then after we know the pair, we have to do the other pair, which is the 3 and the 4. The 3 and the 2. Yeah. Hey, Kaylee. We're still just talking about adding and subtracting. So we know how to add the 4. We can minus the 4. Now, when we minus the 4, what's going to happen? It's the same concept. But this time, instead of saying plus 4 plus 1 equals plus 5, we're going to say minus 4 minus 1 equals minus 5. That's what we're going to do. Why? Because we want to subtract the 4. The question is 8 minus 4. Notice that my 8 minus 4, I can't do double minus, right? That would just be 0. So, we're going to work with minus the 4 of the 5 bead, Kim, because that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how to do it. We don't want to do minus the 10 because that's too much. So we know we're going to be taking away the 5. When we do it, we want to add the 1 to this side. We want to isolate the 4. So that means I'm going to do minus the 4 equals minus 5. But minus 5 is too much. This is not an equal balance. This is not a balanced equation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the 1. Now what I do is I substitute this into here. So I substitute this information into here. So my question is 8. So I have 8. I want to take away the 4. I cannot take away the 4. My formula is this. We call it a formula. So my formula is minus the 5. So I take away the 5 and I add the 1. And then my final answer is 4. Does that make sense? So, yeah. Yeah, right? So we understood how to make a 4. Now we know how to minus a 4, and then we also know we also know its partner. So it builds on top of each other. They don't go so they don't go into anything else really. And if you really, really, I'll tell you a secret. The secret is you only need to know 4 sets of equations. You only need to know 4 sets. We need to know how to add a 5, take away the 5, and then we need to add a 10, and then take away the 10. So this is adding the 10, adding the 5, and take away the 5. Well, if I want to plus the 4, I can plus the 5 minus the 1. Or I can minus the 4 is equal to minus the 5 plus the 1. Hey, Natty! So what's going to happen is, once they know this, they'll start learning how to do the 10s. Once they know how to do the tens, then it doesn't matter what the numbers are. They will be able to Tetris. Because after they know these fundamental, then they're going to have to figure out how to fit them all in. So what I'm saying is there's a thing called two-step equation, and that's a very common terminology in algebra. It's called a two-step equation. So that means we're going to go through one equation and we have to do work it twice. So again, it lays a framework to go into algebra nicely. Hello, I pour milk before cereal. It makes it applicable to higher increments. Yes, exactly, exactly. This will be able to scale to bigger numbers. It will be no matter how long the bigger the numbers are. It doesn't matter how big the numbers are. It just matters how it is. How does it all Tetris? How does it all fit in? It's not a jigsaw puzzle. Well, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, but I think it's better to call it a Tetris because it's like, thank you, Natty, for the donut. So it's like having a piece, like a Lego piece, and you're trying to figure out, are you going to make a car out of it? Are you going to make a wall out of it? A house out of it? You know what I mean? So this is, thank you for the ice cream. So knowing the foundation, knowing your building blocks, you'll be able to fit it into places, if that makes sense. Yeah. So so that's the secret. You only need to know four sets. You only need to know four sets of the formulas. Once you know how to use the four sets, then everything is gold. That's why Magnolia, it'd be easier if you did it together, and you'll be able to see the pattern quicker than your daughter. But the reason why is because I wouldn't wait too long because your daughter is 7. You know what I mean? 7 is still a very good age to start them in abacus. Wow, thank you so much for the ice cream, Natty. Yeah, does that make sense? I'm not the reason why I think the reason why I would push it is just because she is 7. Because then the thing is if when she becomes, let's say you become pretty good at it, and she's like 8 or 9, and it's like, okay, then you have to deal with attitude. Like, I already, like, why do I need to know this? This is so easy. It's going well. It's going well. I just finished publishing my one maze book, so I finally figured out my cover. So this is the beginning of my maze. This is the 2-digit puzzle, and then I have my puzzle pieces. So every maze is I think there's 26 mazes, and so for Magnolia, what I would do is maybe I would start with this one with the 2-digit. So then it kind of is a little bit challenging, but not too challenging. Does that make sense? So the way I had it was we there was just right now she would have to do understanding how to do bead recognition. So the first thing to do is understand how to do the bead recognition, and then after you do a few of them. You can do all of them or you can do some of them, but it's about a maze. So then here you would start here. Thank you so much, Natty. So you'd start here, right? What number is this? And what I would have her color that this is 10. I don't know if you were here for that. Um, and so what you would do is you would color in the answer, color in the path, and it would take you to the next square. And then what number is this? So what number do we know this is? If this is 1, right? This is 1, 2, 3. What number is that? 13. Thank you, Natty. So here I'd be 13. And so we're here. What number is this? If this is 1 and this is 1, what number would that be? And then you just follow the path, and there's an end to it. The end is right here, so you have to try to figure out how to get to the end, and that's the maze. And so I was trying to make it where it's a little bit engaging, but also get to understand how to read the abacus, and then you can mimic it as well, right? You would do the 1 and 1. That would be 11. So then that would be 11, and then I would mimic it again. If this looks like what number this looks like, I would redo it and do that. That looks like 5, 6, 7, 8. That looks like 8. So then I do that. Oh, hold please. I need to verify that I am still here. So, yeah, I think this would be a good start, especially since she's 7. Um, yeah, so I have it where I do have instructions how to read the abacus, and then again with the pictures of the abacus. Oh, I get it. Yeah, right? So, and so that was the thing, is trying to get it to be and then you just follow the path. So what number would this be, right? If this is 1 and this is 6, this is 16. So yeah, I thought it would just be engaging. But I do have the beginning part where I'm not leaving you high and dry. I do give you like instructions how to read the abacus and the picture. So this is what the abacus looks like. This is what the picture looks like. And again, this is what the abacus looks like, right? That's what the abacus looks like. And then this is what the picture looks like. And then we're trying to mimic, we're not mimic, we're trying to relate the numbers to it. So this is what we call number and bead recognition. And then here again, it's just more pictures and what it would look like and how it gets translated. It goes all the way to 9, and then again, this is about this is the beginning part, and then after you, this is the fundamental understanding how to read the abacus and how to read the picture, and then after that, we go into just reviewing the place value, and after you review the place value, then from here you just break up the number, into different sections, right? This would be 3 and this would be 6. It would just like that be 36. This is 36. So we just talk about place values on the abacus, and then from there you can go straight into the maze. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's exciting. Um, it's exciting to be able to have the time to formulate my thoughts and my activities. So I'm trying to make abacus engaging, and I'm trying to make abacus more mainstream. And I think that's what we're lacking. So, anybody have any questions? Oh, and then after that, yeah, after that would be the adding of the 5. So after she understands how to add, right? So there'll be another section where she simply adds, and this is about simply adding. And then there's like little activities. This one was like it's another puzzle. Answer the puzzle, and then there's supposed to be like puzzle pieces. I don't know. I cut them. There's a color by number, and what else? There's others. Yeah. So, and then after that would be adding of the 5. And then after adding of the 5, it's odd that it's not more mainstream for punctual. Yeah, exactly. And so, and that's the one thing, is like, that's what I've been trying to do, is I've been trying to use math terminologies that's very common in mainstream math. Right? Like we talk about isolating the variable. We don't say that in abacus. We just say memorize the formula. I'm just letting you know. When I had to learn it, I had to memorize the formula. I did not know why we had to do it, but we just did it. And so going down this path of understanding how to make it more mainstream math, I'm starting to realize what the connections are. So a lot of it is isolating the variable, substitute the variable, rewrite the formula. Oh, this thing here is a commutative property. And I'm like, what? That's a thing? So what this means is you can take the number and you can flip it, and it would be exactly the same, right? The sum will be the same. They're teaching it, but the problem is in abacus we don't follow it because we worry about the second add-in. So that's why we don't do it on here. We do it in our formula, if that makes sense. Yeah. Um so yeah, that's the interesting part about it. So we do show it, but we don't do it with the concept. We do it with the formula. So it's possible to do it with the formula, but not with this, because the second add-in is always going to be different. Yeah, yeah. Let me know. Do you have any other questions? But yeah, and if you just know those 4 sets of formulas, I call these the flipping formula. If you just know these 4 sets of formula, then you're gold. It will be able to scale. It just depends on how complicated the question will get. And the questions can get complicated. It's just one of those things to try to curate all of those questions. That's all. But yeah. So, does anybody have any questions? Yeah, I'm really excited for the new book. But yeah, the idea is to this would just be bead recognition, and then after bead recognition, it'll be another set, and then after that, it would be adding and subtracting. Yeah. So I don't know if blue cord's still around. If you have any more questions, if you want to talk more about the quantity blue cord, you can just DM me and we can talk about it on the side. Um, to make sure it's what you're looking for. Yeah, you want to DM me and we can talk about quantity and what you want to do. Or you can just or buy the book. I have. See, that's the thing. Like the question is like how old the kids are. It is very late. It is very late. It's like 11:30. But yeah, there's other people that was here. Like it was like 1 or 2 in the morning for them. Do you not sleep, Lynette? I do. I do sleep. But you know what? I'm so excited about lives because it's so amazing. Like the feedback that I get from you guys, and it just really energizes me. It really energizes me. And so, so if something was to ever happen, right? Like, with TikTok and stuff, I figured out how to stream on the other platforms. And I'm really excited. Your love for math is infectious. Oh, thank you so much. I really do believe that it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. And I wish we could. It makes me a little mad. I'm going to go on a rant. It makes me a little mad that we are teaching the kids with other manipulatives. You know what other manipulatives I'm talking about? It's these little stupid, not stupid, but it's these little bricks. But I'm like, if you're teaching these bricks, right? If you're teaching them bricks, then we should also teach them how to use the abacus, right? The difference is these bricks don't tell about place values, where the abacus talks about the place values. And I'm like, that doesn't make it baffles me. It just baffles me. Yes, my youth daughter use it for school. Yeah, it baffles me. Like you got to trade. Oh, you know what, Magnolia? I mean, we can. It's a little late, but what we can do if you stick around with my other lives, we go into how to borrow. I have it as a post as well. If you like peruse through I just did a post about it too. What we do in abacus is we plus the 10 or we take away the 10. That's all we do. But in mainstream math, we trade it in, we regroup, we borrow, we group, or we um, group, regroup, borrow, carry on. And they use these to do it, and I'm like, oh, okay. But in abacus we use is this thing called plus the 10, and all we need to know is how to add a 10, and I can tell you about that in the next lives. But it's a very easy concept. You already know. You know what, let's talk about it now. Are we ready for that? You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a 10. The easiest number to do would be the 9. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, good. Yeah, because I see the thing is, I know it's late, and sometimes we're not thinking about like adding, doing math in the middle of the night. Midnight math, right? Midnight math, right, Kim? Right, Natty? We're doing midnight math. Okay. So in school, we're teaching children how to make a 10. Hello, Purple Panda Prince. Welcome back. So we're teaching the children how to make a 10. How to make a 10 is plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10. We seen this, my star. Yeah, right? I'm telling you, it's really late. Yeah. Oh, see, I never thought I'd be so excited for math, but here we are. Yeah. Here we are in the middle of the night doing midnight math. I honestly did not think anybody would be up listening to me talk about math. But anyways, so in school we're teaching the children how to do math. We know this is very familiar, doesn't it? The abacus applies. We see this formula before. We've seen this number pattern before, right? We've seen it before. It'd be 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Looks very familiar, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to do a 9. Let's do 8 plus 9. This is the question, 8 plus 9. What are we going to do? We're going to isolate this variable. What? We're doing it again, right? We're just doing it again. We need to take this 1 and we need to move it to the other side. That's all we have to do. So what does that mean? So I'm going to rewrite my question. I need to make the 9 by itself. So minus plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 1. That's it. That's all we're going to do. What does that mean? So let's look at it on the abacus. We have 8. We want to add the 9. We do not have any more beads to add the 9. We can't do it. So what do? We have a formula. We have this crazy formula, plus the 10 minus the 1. What does that mean? Plus the 10 means plussing the 10 just means I'm going to go to the next column. That's all that means. So then I have my handy dandy little flippy thingy. I just need to find my number. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to plus the 10. I'm going to line it up. Is that right? That's not right. I got to do the other one. Sorry, gotta find it. There it is. That's the one. So if you notice, this is horizontal. I'm going to make it vertical so I can line it up like this. So you notice I lined up the zeros, the ones, right? I'm going to plus the 10 minus the 1. Plus the 10 minus the 1. I'm going to plus the 10. I'm going to take away the 1. So then my answer is 17. Does that make sense? Hey, Miguel. Blue raptors here. Blue cord, does that make sense? Oh, I see it. It's fun to start and then keep learning. The abacus applies. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does, right? It makes sense? Okay, good. So I'm trying to also make it a little bit more versatile. It's so much easier. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what did we just do? We just did a borrow, carrying on. We just did a carrying on. So let's do it. Let's do 18. We can do 18 plus 9. Same, it's the same thing. So I do 18. Let me do 18, right? I do 18. That's 18, right? I'm going to plus the 9. I'm going to add the 9 plus the 10. Plus the 10 minus the 1. I plus the 10 and take away the 1. My answer is 27. It's the same thing. You just do it again, just a different, numbers. Funny? It's so amazing, like how simple abacus makes adding and subtracting. But the biggest thing is to see that there's the numbers, right? The biggest thing is to see the numbers that are there. I'm trying to find my minus the. There it is, right? Let's do another one. Let's do 28. 28 plus 9. It's the same thing. I do 28. 20 and then 8. I think daily math with the abacus before bed is going to be my new routine. So here, I want to add the 9. It's the same thing. All I got to do is plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 1. I plus the 10, I take away the 1. What is my answer? 37. 37. Do you see how it's versatile? Miguel's funny. Yeah. It's so crazy. Abacus makes it into manageable chunks. It strips away the complexities and it just makes it into manageable chunks. And it gets better to show this with multiplication and division. But see, Magnolia, you already know how to add the 5. You already know how to minus the 5. You know how to add the 10. We can do minus the 10, and then that's it. And then you'll be able to teach your child. And then as you see the numbers become more complex, right, you're going to notice what you can and cannot use. So here, let's do another question. Let's do, you know what? Let's do 4. The reason why, because 4 has two sets of formula. So if I look, 4, I can either plus the 10 minus the 6. The hardest part to see, so the hard part is seeing an abacus in your head. Yes, I would think so, but I don't push myself to try to see the abacus in my head. I would just use the abacus because it's there. I don't push my kids to memorize the abacus in their head either. They don't, I mean, unless you're thinking about doing it in like competition wise, I don't believe there's any harm into using the abacus all the way to the very end. Unless you really practice arithmetic. But we have other things to do with our lives than just knowing arithmetic. So here, just so you know, we have 2 sets. There's a 4. You can either plus a 10 or we can plus a 5, right? Those are the 2 sets. When do we use it? Well, let's look at it. The best one would be to talk about how to add a 4 multiple times. And then you can see it, here it is. You can see its elegance. So here's my question. We'll do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay. Now what's going to happen is we start with the first 4. Do we have enough? Yes, we have enough. Not a problem. The next one is this one, right? Do we have enough? We know how to add a 4. We know that we need to plus the 5 minus the 1. So all I have to do, right? This one is plus the 5 minus the 1, minus the 1. Plus the 5 minus the 1. So I have 8. I'm going to have a running total here, 8. I'm going to add another 4. To add another 4, can I add a 5? No, I'm already using it. So what's my next one I can use? The next one would be plus 4. That's the only question that differentiates between whether you use a 10 or you use a 5. The question is, can I use it? If you cannot use it, if it's already being used, you got to find another way. So this one is plus the 10 minus 6. So I'm going to plus the 10. I'm going to take away the 6. So my running total is 12. And notice that what we're doing is we're doing some multiplication. On the abacus, we have to memorize our math facts. One way to learn the one way to show our multiplication facts is you can talk about additive accumulation. So we're going to add one more. I have 4. Do I have enough beads to add the 4? No, I have no more beads to add the 4. I only have 2 beads. I want to add another 4. Well, what's my next step? My next step is can I add a 5? Oh, wait, I can. To add a 5, all I have to do is plus the 5 minus the 1. Plus the 5, take away the 1. My running total is 6. My answer is 16. So I'm going to plus the 5 minus the 1. Does that make sense? So you saw, because I'm adding the 4, either I use the 5 or I use the 10. But there's a set formula. There's a set framework to go through the process. It's like a little checklist. Does that make sense? Ultimate emo. Do you know how to read the abacus? So when we read the abacus, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is the horizontal bar, right? It's 5. This is 5. All the top bead is 5. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 10. This is 10. How do I know that this is 10? We know this is 10 because of our place values. And I misplaced it again. Yeah, right, Magnolia, right? That makes sense. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you can become fluent, but then how long is that going to take? That's why I would recommend, if you can, start now with your daughter. Oh yeah, there we go. So, emo. So is 4 the only one to I would say, yeah, you know what? That's a really good question. Anything with the 5. So 1, 2, 3 all has two formulas. So 5 plus what? 5 plus 5 minus 4 or 9 minus 10 minus 1. 10 minus 9. 2, the pair is 8 and 3. Yeah, right? And then this. So let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to change another color. I'm going to change colors. So I like different colors. So how many threes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is the beginning part of my other book. I started with a multiplication one. The reason why I did it, I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I started with 3. But anyways, let's start it. Let's start this. So we're going to do 3. So we do 3. We add the 3. Not a problem, right? That makes sense? So we're going to add another 3. Do we have enough beads to add the 3? No. What do? We have to plus the 3 is equal to plus the 5 minus 2. Plus the 5 minus the 2. My running total, right? This one here, plus the 5 minus 2. Running total is 6. When we look at it, we have to pay attention to see if we add the 5 or not. We don't want to overextend it, right? So the next one is, I want to add the 3. Is there enough beads to add the 3? See, not everything needs a formula. The question always starts with, do I have enough beads? Do I have enough beads to add the 3? Yes. So all I got to do is add the 3. Does that make sense? So don't jump ahead. Understand, this is where we get analytical, critical thinking. Is this critical thinking? Analytical? Right? So this is 9. My running total is 9. I'm going to add another 3. Can I add a 5? No, I'm already using it. So I cannot add a 5. Yes, exactly. So now I have to do my plus 10. Exactly. Can I add a 10? Yes, I'm going to add a 10. Plus the 10 minus the 7. Thank you, Kim. Plus the 10 minus the 7. Minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. So my running total is 12. Minus, plus the 10 minus the 7. Then what do? Can I add another 3? Can I add another 3? No. What do? Well, it looks like I have the 5 available. So if I have the 5 available, I need to plus the 5 minus the 2. So my running total, my final answer is 15. Thank you, Kim. Yes. Plus the 5 minus the 2. So my answer is 15. Now, the reason why I like this way is because you could see what we're doing. So if, let's say you remember 3 plus 3, 3 times 3, 3 times 3 is 9. Now, depending on if your child, because everybody will learn their multiplication differently. What I wanted to do is show them how they can add, and they can subtract. So if they want to add to, if they want to add 3 to here, right, that would be 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Does that make sense? So yeah, the abacus will help you. Seeing it on the habit, imagine. Yeah, it's very hard to try to do it mentally. I still don't do it mentally. I still use the abacus. So the reason why I like to do this is to show, for children how they can be flexible. And so that's why I have this thing where if I want to do 3 times 3, notice if I add another 3 or take away a 3, then I have 6. So it's a lot about, what can you add and what can you what are the ones, please? Oh, decimals, right? So we have our ones. Our decimal does not sit on a place value. So this is our decimal, and then this is our tenths and our hundredths. That's it. Oh, my nemesis. No, actually, it's not. because you work it exactly the same and then you put the decimal there. It's actually really quite easy. It's really quite easy. Um, so Miguel, when I was thinking about it, I wanted the kids to know that if I add the one, right? If I add one more, then they know that they can subtract. So this was the whole thing, like getting them to understand. I had a little story to go with it too. But then I have this whole exercise where they can add the one, take away the add the three, take away the three, add the three, take away the three. So they can be more flexible and see where they kind of fit in and stuff, if that makes sense. But that's what this one is. And then I was going to make it all the way to 9. Well, I was going to make it to 12, but it doesn't make sense. I'm thinking I'm just going to go to 9. But anyways, but this is only the 3 times table. So there's a whole bunch of activities about the 3 times table. Color by number, more adding and subtraction, more adding, right? And then again, different ways. And then I started going into division. So the idea was if you know how to add, then you should know how to divide. So if you know 3 times 1 is equal to 3, then you'll know that 3 divided by 1 is equal to 3. I feel like abacus is kind of math muscle memory. It is a little bit if you practice it that way. But it's a, you know what, I feel like abacus is more about number patterns, because you'll see when I want to add the when I want to add 3, I know I'm going to take away the 5, or add the 3. But then if I want to add another 3, I know I'm going to add the 10 and then minus the 7. So this is a number pattern that you're going to see. So obviously you'll see, as often as you work with the abacus, you'll see that there's specific number patterns depending on the number. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's more about number patterns as opposed to muscle memory. But it does help to see it. It also helps to say it. It also helps to touch it. Right. Whew. But yeah, I do enjoy that. I do think about abacus often because I'm trying to figure out how to make it more mainstream. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun with the kids. Oh, good. Oh, good. I hope it will be. That's why I was trying to make the activities. I was trying to make the activities fun, and so I was going to make this one into another printable, but this one was going to be I was going to have it laminated. So interesting. Thank you for the lessons. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem, Magnolia. I'm hoping it helps. I do hope that if you're interested in it, I would start when exactly the same time as your daughter was, because you would pick it up quick too. I will be adding this to my daily practice and incorporating. Oh, that'd be fantastic. So the first thing I would do is just talk about number recognition. But that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Great news. But yeah, I'm trying to populate my. So if you're looking for more worksheets, I am on TPT, Learning with Lynette. Um, but I'm trying to mimic the whatever's on TPT. I'm trying to mimic it to my website as well. And then whatever I can, I'm also going to try to make a book, and I'm going to pop it into the TPT, the TikTok store, and the other selling bookstore. So I was trying to be more versatile. It's just the one thing is just to try to get it out there. You know what I mean? Try to package it up, make bundles, and so forth. So it's slowly, but I kind of stopped a little bit about making abacus worksheets, but I started picking it up again. I do have a few students. It depends which book you're talking about. So like this one, this one's already done. This one's available. That one's available. The +5 is available. The +10 is available. And if you wanted to do Christmas, I have Christmas ones. Your new book is going to be Counting Money with Abacus: How I Become a Millionaire by Teaching Math. I hope so, Miguel. I hope so. But the biggest thing is really trying to educate parents and teachers to try to incorporate it. I'm trying to get this one teacher to incorporate math abacus into his second graders. And so that was the one thing is I think what I need to do is also make books very grade specific. So I started with, that's why I started with this puzzles, the puzzles. Here it is. So I think doing it this way with with the double digit, right? I think I can do first grade and second grade introducing abacus. So that was my idea, to try to introduce abacus as grade level, and then it would align with the standards. Um, yeah, because right now the way abacus is written and all the curriculum, it's very on its own. It's really the stepchild of math. And so what I think I need to do is, yeah, so that's why I have this with the double digits. The double digits, I believe, is first grade and second grade. This one goes all the way to 100, to goes to 99. So they have to know how to do 99, right? And this is about bead recognition. And then after that, then they go, I think in second grade they do 4 digits. So that's why I was going to expand this into doing bead recognition of 4 digits, but then also incorporate what we just learned on how to add a 10, how to make a 5, how to take away a 5, but still be bigger numbers. So I think that's what's in the works right now. I'm just trying to formulate it. I'm going to introduce a lot of people to your content. Incredible work. Thank you. I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, and that was the thing I'm trying to figure out is like, when's the best time to see people? But I do, I mean, yeah. So I have my lives, but I also have classes. I have Zoom classes that I do offer. I have like two students, three students, I have four. I have a, I have an on demand class where I go through each of my worksheets, and the lessons are less than 5 minutes. So there's every worksheet has a video. um yeah, every worksheet has a video, and that one is an online class. That one is on demand, so you just choose the lesson that you're on, or the video that you're on, and the worksheets are included with the class. um but I do offer tutoring. I guess you call it tutoring, but I do offer lessons, like personalized Zoom classes. Yeah. But then there's my lives, and then you have my worksheets. So I try to make my worksheets more available. I'm on TPT, you have my website, and then there's the other bookstore. And then I'm trying to figure out how to populate the TikTok shop. It just takes time to get it all out there. I really just started to um, package everything a little bit better. I mean, I'm slowly packaging. Um, so so right now I have these 3 books. I have 3 books that's part of the curriculum, and I'm still trying to build out the curriculum. Like I've been doing abacus for 20 years, but the thing was is they were not um none of the worksheets were interactive like this. So this one's tic-tac-toe. Again, this is the maze, but this is to answer the question. Again, the same thing. You're a very busy lady and your products are beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It does take a while to go through it. And so that's why it was just one of those things. So this one was because the kids are young. Here's the story that I would tell your child. The kids are young, right? And they're like, okay, I need to add the 4, but you don't have enough beads. Very well thought out. I try to be. I try to be. And try to be more relatable. So here I have 2, but I need to add 4. Well, what do I do? Well, notice there's 5 cats in the tree. There's 5 cats in the tree, and you take your hands out. There's 5 cats in the tree. So you go to the tree with the 5 cats. You grab 4 cats, and then 1 cat runs away. That means 1 cat runs away. You have to minus. You have to take it away. So my answer is 6. This was easier for the kids to understand than just to say memorize. So I put a little story behind it. But that's what, and it's the same thing with the +3, right? You want to add 3 plus 3. So we do 3, we add another 3. We don't have enough beads to add the 3. We gotta go to the cats in the tree. There's always gonna be 5 cats in the tree. So go to the cats in the tree. You grab 3 cats, and then 2 cats run away. So then 2 cats, 1, 2, run away. So then my answer is 6. Yeah. Thank you. I thank you for the compliment. I do hope that it suits it. I do hope that it suits your needs. And I'm trying to go through all the questions because all the questions have to be very specific. They're very curated. The reason why is because we don't just I can't just give you questions. It has to be very specific. So here is abacus shows that there's a number pattern. There's a pattern. So this is what we did in the beginning when I showed you how to add without the formula. So notice I have 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2. So that's why this is green. So then this one here is pink. This pink is what we add the 5. We added the 5. If you notice, we add the 4. So if I have 2, I want to add 4, I need to plus the 5 minus the 1. And then what happens? Then we do the plus 10s. That's where this yellow comes in. This yellow comes in to add the 10. So like say we did this. We did 7, right? We did 7. We want to add the 5. We don't have enough beads to add the 5. We know how to add a 5. We plus the 5 is plus the 10, take away the 5. So my answer is 12, right? So there's a pattern to everything. But then it gets a little tricky. Now it gets to a point where this, so I talked about, how to add a 10. This is about two-step equation. This two-step equation is when you mix the 5 and the 10 together. This is where we Tetris everything. Yeah. So, and I appreciate the compliment. Like, but it also helps that I can present it and show how it works. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's the abacus. I don't know how to use the abacus." But it's really quite easy. It's simple to use and easy to understand. It just depends on, I guess, who is commenting on it. I Yeah. Um, can we go a few more hours? Thank you for making us all smarter. Yeah. Yeah. You're I thank you for the content. Have a blessed night. Oh yeah, you too, Miguel. Thank you. I appreciate that. You too. Have a blessed night as well. You know what? I'll probably be on tomorrow morning. Kim, you're still around. Go to bed. Yeah, I'll probably be on tomorrow morning. See how it goes. I'll have fun explaining that some abacus lessons now that I deserve a raise in work. Good luck. Good luck. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys in my next live. And I'm continuing to make more worksheets. Let me know if you have any other comments or questions about the worksheets, or if you have problems with the worksheets, or if you have any more ideas. I'm always open to other ideas to make it better, to make it more efficient, and also to make it more mainstream. I am planning to um, get this out the door as well. I was going to think about laminating it and having it available for teachers so they can like do a erasable to make this erasable, but I gotta look into how to laminate it and getting a laminating thing and all this and that. So it's gonna be a little bit. This will take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna make this available as well onto my website and then also on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I'm gonna incorporate it into a book. So, anyways, thank you again, everybody. I appreciate everybody's comments and compliments and discussion. It's always great to have a discussion. Thank you again. I will have a good night, everybody. Have a blessed night, everybody, and I will see you in my next live. Toodaloo, kangaroo! And here.